What do you mean I'm sleeping in this shed? It was a joke. It was just a joke for comedy effect. Of course I don't want a lasagna with Margot Robbie. You're having a laugh. Hello everybody and welcome to this is the That's Football. Hello everybody and welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge and it's the Milan derby in the second Champions League semi-final. I hope you're looking forward to this one. I certainly am. It's just massively intriguing. I can't deny it. It's massively intriguing, this one. Which way is it going to go? I don't know. I don't know the answers, and hopefully, we will have the answers. But look, it may not have the glamour quite of a Real Madrid against Manchester City semi-final. But what's more glamorous than AC Milan against Inter Milan in an unlikely or unpredictable semi-final, with one of the Milan clubs going to be playing in a Champions League final, an Italian club in a Champions League final. Absolutely fantastic. So we've got the stats carousel going round for you there. You can see the team news coming in. Yes, I will go through those teams for you. So Magnon in goal, Calabria, Chiar, Tomori, Hernandez for AC Milan, Krunic, Tonali, Salimakers, Beneka, Diaz and Giroud. I mean, look, I think actually probably we should all just apologise and say that obviously everyone thinks that Real Madrid and Manchester City are going to win the final if they get through, and they will be favourites. But you can't look at this Milan side and this Inter Milan side and say they're crap. I mean, they will be underdogs, but they're not crap teams, and they can potentially cause a problem. There's some very good players in these sides. Even on the bench for AC Milan, I was looking at, you've got Rebic, Origi, De Ketelaere is on there as well. Anyway, the two good goalkeepers, by the way. Magnon in goal for AC Milan. Anana in goal for Inter Milan. Matteo Darmian playing from Inter Milan is incredible for me. Acerbi and Bastoni. Denzel Dumfries and DeMarco. And then they've got Mkhitaryan, Calhanoglu and Barella. And then they've got Lautaro Martinez and Dzeko in their front two. And on their bench, they've got the likes of De Vrij, Correa, De Ambrosia, Brozovic is on there, and Romelu Lukaku is on there. So look, they're not the quality of a Real Madrid or an AC, or a Manchester City, but they have still got some decent players in there. And for me, I'm a big fan of Italian football, and Barella and Tonali, when they were at was it Brescia and Cagliari, I think, if my memory serves me correct, were players that I looked at and thought they'd be quite good for Manchester United. So I think that, look, as I say, I think that the game, whoever wins this will be the underdog, whoever they play. But I don't think they're underdogs. If Inter Milan play Real Madrid or AC Milan play Man City in the final, or however other way it works, yeah, I'd expect Man City to beat AC Milan, but it wouldn't shock me if AC Milan won 1-0. So, who do we think is going to win this? I look, they're very close together in the league. No Rafael Leao for AC Milan, although apparently he's just signed a new contract with AC Milan for 5 years. I was reading this afternoon. I don't know whether he's going to be back for the second leg. But you can say it's home advantage, and it is home advantage for AC Milan just because they can have more fans in than Inter, but next week it'll work the same way. The pitch is the bloody same. They play there every week. It's their home ground for both of these sides. I don't know. I think Italian football traditionally is quite close anyway. Can we learn anything from previous fixtures between these two this season? Can we learn anything from their form this season? Look, like I say, Inter Milan have got 63 points. They're above AC Milan, who are fifth with 61 points. Goals scored. Milan have scored 7 more goals in Serie A this season than AC Milan, but they've also conceded 4 less goals than AC Milan as well. Recent fixtures between the two, I'm just having a look when they last played each other. Milan, Inter, 1-0 to Inter back in February. The goal scorer in that one was Lautaro Martinez. Why have I lost that now? And then the first time they played, which was back, I think it was back in October. Let me just double check. It was September, 3-2 to Milan, which was a long time ago. So you can have a tight 1-0 or you can have a tight 3-2. I don't know. I do love this stadium. I know it's getting on a little bit now, San Siro, but it makes me think of Italia 90. What a stadium it was then. Of course, they've got De Ketelaere on their bench. New star of my FIFA career mode, hopefully. Hopefully he's going to fire me to the treble. But look, the prize is the prize. Not to beat your... This would be like Man United playing Man City in a Champions League semi-final. This would be like Arsenal playing Spurs in a Champions League semi-final. The prize is the Champions League final, but it's also heightened by the fact that you're playing your big rival as well. So it's incredibly exciting. Incredibly exciting. City beat either of these teams easily, says Zero. Well, they do and they don't. They do and they don't. Same for Real Madrid. They do and they don't. On the night, who knows what happens. Do you think Mane will go to Chelsea, says Filthy? I didn't even know he was being linked to them. Look out for Bastoni for United, says Barat. I don't think Bastoni's going to be leaving Inter to come to Manchester United, but very good defender. Inter beat AC Milan 3-0 in a cup final this season, says Lewis. And do you have any tips for GCSEs, says Jimbo? Study. Go on Inter, says 9 Street. 60% are going with an AC Milan win and only 23% are going with an Inter Milan. I think Inter Milan are being massively undersold in this game. But what do I know? I just hope it's going to be a good game. We might see a few red cards in this. But the fascinating thing is, for any United fans, is that this is a Champions League semi-final between Inter Milan and AC Milan. And Inter Milan are starting 2 Manchester United rejects in Mkhitaryan and Matteo Darmian. So, football's a funny old game, isn't it? Funny old game. Dzeko, formerly of Man City, of course. He's still going strong. Giroud, still going strong as well. And I think that's why people don't fancy them, really, to have a chance against the likes of Man City or Real Madrid. Evening, more special. This game is happening considering the stadium is getting torn down in 2024, says Joshua. And I'll be very sad. It's had better days, the San Siro, but it's a fantastic stadium. It really is. Hi, Mark. Why do you consider Juve as the biggest Italian club rather than AC Milan? 7 Champions League. I feel they are the biggest, says Abe. Well, I don't. Well, I'll tell you why. Because I support Juventus. They're my Italian team. They always have been. Since David Platt signed for them in the 90s. No. Juventus were always my team anyway, because they have that connection with Notts County, and obviously I'm from Nottingham, so always preferred and liked Juventus. Loved Baggio as a kid, and loved Vialli as well. And I just love them sorting the time around here. So yeah, I mean, but I'm not going to argue with you about who's the biggest. I need to stop. I'm going to end the poll because it's getting on my fucking nerves. I can't read the chat. You're scouting for United and your FIFA team as well, Mark, says Leo J. Well, as I said, the Ketelaere is there. Let me just show you, actually. I don't wear shirts, but I have got this beauty. There you go. Obviously, Zidane played for them as well. There you go. There's one of my Juventus shirts. Lovely. Guess the year. Can you guess it from that? I never wear it, but it's one of my favourites. I might wear it in the garden tomorrow. I'm going to wear it in the garden tomorrow and do some Zidane top corner volleys on my Instagram. There we go. Robbie says, Goldbridge, you are the number 1 glory hunter, Juventus and United. But the problem with that is, if you know my age, you'll know that can't be the case, because United didn't win a title for the first 11 years of my life, and hadn't won it for the previous 13 years of my life before I was born. So I didn't pick United as a glory hunter at all. I couldn't do that. I don't know when. I don't think. I'd have to double check that. We're about to start here, but I don't think I certainly didn't pick Juventus for glory either. And I don't think they'd won anything. Let me have a look at this. Serie A title winners. Just about ready to go here. Winners, runners up. So when I was born, Juventus won their first title. I wouldn't have remembered that. 95 would be the first one I remembered. I was drinking by then. Underage, admittedly, but there we go. Right, let's get ready to go. We're up and running. Here we go. Inter Milan against AC Milan. How was the 99 Champions League semi for you, Mark, says Zach? Well, I wanted Man United to win. I don't like Juventus enough that I'd want them to beat Manchester United. It's just like, I'd never have a second team in England, but I think we all have teams that we like abroad. I don't have a team in every country either. And I'm not like one of those. I just like Juventus. I've always liked Juventus. And I've always loved Italian football. So for me, I don't support Real Madrid or Barcelona. I don't support bloody Marseille or anything like that. Although I did used to quite like Marseille when I was a kid because Chris Waddle used to play for them. And on Football Focus on a Saturday, they'd always show Chris Waddle's games for Marseille. So, and we never used to have like the internet or the ability to watch foreign football. So seeing Marseille score and then checking their scores on teletext, I was quite interested in them, but only because Chris Waddle was there. And of course, when I was a kid, we had the Italia 90, which made Italian football massively popular. And then straight after Italia 90, Gazza went to Lazio and David Platt went to Barry. Not Barry Island in Wales, Barry in Italy. Bari. Fourth attempt today. Hi Mark, please wish me a happy birthday, says Angie. The best birthday gift I could wish for today, to find out that our club has been sold. Full sale and the Glazers were on their way home. Happy birthday, Angie. Everyone say happy birth to Angie. 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 Cracking song by the Rolling Stones as well. You might have been named after them. The song, not Mick. Hi Mark, how does this fan distribution work this game, considering the Milan team share the San Siro, says Shao. My guess, loads of people saying happy birthday to Angie. My guess is, and correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, there seems to be a lot of AC Milan fans here. So I suspect what they've done is it will be a 90% AC Milan for this leg and then a 90% Inter Milan for the next leg. I don't think they've split the... I don't think it's 50-50. Because there'll be season ticket holders, won't they? Like, if you think about it, there'll be AC Milan season ticket holders who go to every home game, and when they're away, that seat will be used by an Inter Milan season ticket holder. So, yeah, this will be predominantly AC Milan. I read a BBC article that said San Siro getting torn down has been frustrated due to various technicalities. I hope it stays around a while longer. One of the greatest and most grandest unique stadiums, says Robbo. I must admit, on this, I have got no information. So if anyone in the chat has, let us know. I've been to the San Siro, fantastic stadium. I've never been to watch a game there. I went in on a stadium tour, which is a bit shit, I know, but at least I can say I've been. And the I thought they were knocking it down. So if anyone knows, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know whether they're knocking it down and rebuilding a new one in the same place or whatever. I think I stopped reading when I saw that they were knocking it down. It's like Goodison Park. That pisses me off as well. What do we think is going to happen in these games? I think it's going to be very tight. I think it's... some people don't like it when this happens because European football is European football, isn't it? And you want to see something different. And this will basically be a glorified Serie A game. Big up, Mark. You've said you used to love Italian football. This game must be a great throwback for yourself. Feels nostalgic, says AJ. Well, I don't used to love Italian football. I do love Italian football. The honest story is that when COVID happened, it destroyed my viewing of other football. And I've never really got it back. It's weird, isn't it? I know a lot of people do watch a lot of European football, but I don't anymore. I watch the highlight packages and stuff like that, but I used to watch, at least one Serie A game every week. And I'd done it for years and years and years, ever since it was on Channel 4. But when COVID hit, I just never picked it up again. So I just rely on highlights now. And the reason COVID stopped it was because obviously when COVID came back from its break, we had a Premier League game every day, didn't we? So I just didn't get back into it. Liao isn't in the game. I think he's back next week, Amir. I know he was training on his own yesterday, so obviously not fit enough for this game, but I think they're hopeful that he'll be back next week. Separate has gone with an Inter win. Eve says, what's your opinions on Lukaku's newfound improvements? Whatever Lukaku's improvements are, I cannot see him being the solution for Chelsea next season. Because that's where you're going to go, isn't it? That's the next logical thing. If I go, oh yeah, I think Lukaku's a really good striker, I think he's back to his best, the next question will be, do you think Chelsea should play him up front? And I don't think there's a Chelsea fan out there that thinks that will happen as well. Hi Mark, opinions on Onana to Chelsea. Apparently Chelsea want him, says Alfie. Well, Chelsea are capable of buying anybody, aren't they? And he's a very good goalkeeper. All right, I rate Maignan as well. The thing about Onana is he can certainly play out from the back. He's the one who walked home. Be a long walk. Who sort of got kicked out of his country's World Cup side, didn't he, in the World Cup? Because the manager didn't like the way he was playing. Which is I think he wanted to come out of his box and play like as a sweeper keeper, and the manager didn't want him to do that. Archaic says, do you honestly think that Poch can significantly influence the fortunes of Chelsea Football Club, or is it another panic decision by Bowley? Well, I don't think you can describe Pochettino as a panic appointment. I think it's a logical appointment. I don't think it's the right opponent. FIFA's back tomorrow, James. It's just been a tough week this week. You know I love to play FIFA on Twitch. I've just been busy with other things this week, but we are on tomorrow, just after 3. Djokovic in the stadium. What's happening with Zlatan, by the way? He's never bloody fit. I don't think I've seen Zlatan play a game for Milan yet. Corner to Inter Milan here. Of course, one player I really do like, and we will do this. If you could take one player from each team for your team, who would you take? Oh, it's a goal. It's an absolute goal. It's a real goal. It's a Dzeko goal. He's caught it on the volley from a corner. You've got to question the defending. You've got to question the defending here because he's not headed it. The cross has come in, and as it's landed, he's volleyed it with his left foot. There ain't no keeper saving this. No keeper is saving this from Dzeko. It's absolutely fantastic. Langford will come back to that question about what players you'd take from both. But look at the corner. Boy, it's strong. It's strong play by Dzeko, but I feel for Maignan here. He's got to look at his defender and say, what the bloody hell are you doing? Why are you letting him get a volley from that close? Any thought of a foul? No. I think it'd be a disgrace if that was given as a foul. They might look at it, but I'm saying it's a disgrace if they do. No, it's a goal. We play on. 1-0 to Inter Milan. So I think this is great for the game. An early goal in a game like this is fantastic. And it's Dzeko who's done it. Forza Inter, says OP. But it's a foul against AC Milan. There's the cross again. I mean, it's just bad defending by AC Milan. I don't know how they've got themselves in a position where they're not attacking that ball. It lands pretty central, just outside the 6-yard box. Someone's got to go and win that header. I suppose that's what happens when you man-to-man mark. Big fan of your content, says Ace Reject. Thank you very much, mate. Well, he wasn't at fault for that goal, but one player I was going to mention that I really do like is Tomori. I don't think it can be long before he comes back to the Premier League. Fantastic player. It wasn't a foul, Sean. I'm just saying, you never know in this day and age what can be seen as a foul, but I don't think it was a foul, and it certainly wasn't given as a foul. Great finish from Xhaka, says Shivan. Both keepers here are what you would describe as good with their feet. Maignan just bangs it straight up to Giroud's head. But Inter will be very happy here, and they're on the attack again. It's a good ball into Lautaro Martinez. He lets it go. It should be 2-0. It is! It's 2-0! Unbelievable! What are AC Milan doing? And you'll never get... He's taking the mickey. It's Mkhitaryan. Wow, 2-0 to Inter Milan. This game, well, it's not over yet, but 10 minutes in, and Inter Milan lead 2-0. I think you might have to look at Tomori and co here, because what the hell is going on with this defence? Shocking. Absolutely shocking. But, well, look. Where are they? The overlap is fantastic. The cut back into the path of Mkhitaryan, who takes one touch. And I don't think you can blame Tomori for that. I think Tonali's got to pick up the runner. And Hernandez at left back again has got to pull in. Terrible start, but Inter have had a great start for Inter. Terrible start from Milan, and a great start for Milan. I've been waiting to do that. Yeah, 2-0. This is remarkable. And I think you've got to look at Hernandez for Milan at fault on both goals. Slips on the second one, gets bullied on the first. He's cost them 2 goals. Tie over? No, not yet. Not yet. 2-0 is a dangerous scoreline, but it's hanging by a thread for AC Milan. What a game, eh? What a game! Inter on fire. JTV, thank you very much for your super chat there. Liao's injured. Good for away goals. Yeah, obviously no away goals, but that was a joke. What do you think about Napoli? Well, I think that they've had a fantastic season because they're the champions of Italy. I just think they ran out of steam. I think if they could have played like they did at the start of the season, they would have breezed into the final. But yeah, Gary Neville says, Sid, JTV, thank you very much for your super chat. Anyway, it's a corner for AC Milan here. Two players go down in the box. It's a pushing and shoving. I'm happy for Mkhitaryan. I'm glad he's doing good things at Inter. Said it didn't work for him at Man United, says Ruben. And do you trust Doa's news article, says Manmate. I haven't seen it, mate. What can you let me know it? I'll have a look. Well, that's not a foul on Giroud. That's not a penalty for me. No way. What's the most shocking game you've ever seen, says Charlie Masters? I don't know whether it is the most shocking game ever, because people will say there are different ones, but I think Brazil-Germany in the 2014 World Cup was massively shocking. And Liverpool fans are going to be going 7-7 and all this, but I don't think that was shocking. I think Man United are capable of getting battered. That's not shocking. But I think Brazil in their own World Cup to get absolutely annihilated by Germany was the one that I just was like, wow. I wasn't shocked when Liverpool beat Man United by that much because I've seen United get battered a few times recently and I think we're capable of downing tools. Mark, I'm pretty sure it was Calabria who was marking Dzeko on the first goal, and would you take Theo Hernandez over Luke Shaw? Says Robble. You might be right. I might have made a mistake there. Qatar is the preferred bidder as per Doha News, says Manmeet. Well, we'll have to wait and see. I hope so. Inter Milan on the attack again. Oh my God, who's just hit that? It should be 3-0. It's an absolute banger. It could be 2. Oh! Mkhitaryan again. Great save by Mannion. It was Barella with a banger. He's just hit the post from about 30 yards out. It wasn't. I thought it was Barella because he was going mad, but it wasn't Barella who hit the shot. I apologise for that. It was Calhanoglu. And then Mkhitaryan missed a big chance. I tell you what, if that had gone in, it would have been over. AC Milan are in all sorts of trouble here. Inter feel very like the Mourinho one, which won it and beat Barca with 18% possession. Experience all over. They may manage their way to the Champions League, says Elliot. Well, I think Maignan coming off as well. Oh dear. I don't know what he's done there because he was celebrating afterwards. AC Milan do not look up for it today. I think the winner is coming out from the Madrid and City game. Also, would you take Goretzka if he leaves Bayern? No. Hi Mark, can you call my mate Kai a Turbo Pratt? Says Tom. Thank you very much, Tom. It'd be a shame if Maignan's going off. I don't think he wants to go off. Mark, if we sell Lukaku, Sterling, Aubameyang and Mason, we'll have like 75% of the money for Neymar right there. He's attainable, says Not from 63rd. Would you want him? They've made a sub already, AC Milan. Beneka's gone off and Messias has come on. I think that's an injury as well. Well, Maignan looks all right because he's just took a very big goal kick, but they've lost one player. It's not looking good for AC Milan. Tell you what, that goal from Calhanoglu would have been absolutely brilliant, and that would have been tie over. It's a worrying time for AC Milan because they just don't look at the races at all. And this is, of course, this is a home tie for both teams, but there are more AC Milan fans in the ground than there are Inter because this is their classed as their home tie. Get De Ketelaere on. He's good on my FIFA career mode. You just know Southgate's laughing whenever he sees an AC Milan defensive mistake as it gives him more of an excuse to play Maguire over Tomori, says Robbo. Well, look, the thing about Maguire is, and Southgate will always say this, you can't make mistakes if you're not playing. Mark, do you think United will compete in the Champions League next season, says James? got to be in it first. Of course, AC Milan did knock Spurs out. Oh, Tonali's been told to get up as well. This ref don't like AC Milan. Look at all them AC Milan fans. They're going mad about the ref there. They're running forward behind the goal. But he ain't taking any shit. Did Tonali dive? Oh, I don't know. I don't think that's a dive. I think it's a foul. One minute. I've just been sent a message there. It's quite a good one. AC Milan and Inter Milan playing for the right to be Champions League runners-up here. A bit unfair, but probably true. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. You're all welcome here. I'm loving doing this sort of a game, you know. This is what football's all about. Oh, I'll do the Real Madrid-Man City game, but I won't do the other semi-final. Come on. Show the tournament some respect. We're only 200 subscribers away from 953,000, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. You might be excited to know there is another. He's our only hope. No, there is another. There is another driving with Goldbridge ready to go tomorrow. So if you watch the last one, how exciting is that? There's going to be another one coming up tomorrow on my channel. Get ready for that. But please do subscribe to this channel, bottom right-hand corner. Are you going to do a Europa League watch-along, says Adwaran. No. Watching Europa League football is like watching your best mate have a shit. I've got no intention of doing it, ever. Ever. The only reason I would watch Europa League football is if Man United are in it. Other than that, I don't understand people who watch Europa League football. Paint the fence, clear the loft out, play a bit of FIFA, watch a film, get the weekend shopping in early. Oh, right. I'm going to watch Europa League football tonight. I like Hernandez of Milan, but he was definitely at fault for the second goal. Maybe it wasn't him on the first goal. I thought it was, but I may have misremembered it. Oh my God, he's not giving him a foul again. This ref is a hater of AC Milan. He hates AC Milan. He will not give them a free kick. It was Calabria. Thank you very much, Aiden. A few people have said that. Would you watch the Conference League final if West Ham were in it? I still don't think it's interesting. For me, that's like saying, would you watch West Ham play a pre-season friendly? I'm just like, I still don't think the Conference League final, just with West Ham in it, is interesting. I just don't acknowledge it. I don't acknowledge it as genuine, you know? It's like Jaws 4. It's not Jaws 4. It's not part of the Jaws canon really at all. It's just absolutely shit. For a start, the shark can growl. Have you ever heard of a growling shark? It's physically impossible. So I don't acknowledge the Europa Conference League. I'm sorry. If you do, thank you. Well done. Ref's a disgrace here, says Calming Oysters. He doesn't like Milan. Even I can see that. He doesn't like AC Milan. I'm drunk, says Jaden. I haven't had it. You know what? I'm not a recovering alcoholic or anything like that, but I haven't had a drink since 2008. No, last Friday. I'll have a couple tomorrow. Who would I want to win, says Armin. Based on this form, I think Inter Milan would give Man City or Real Madrid a better game. What's the story with Zlatan then? Is he not registered in the Champions League or is he injured again? Would you rather have lunch with Darmian or Mkhitaryan? I think it'd be boring with both unless they can speak English, because I can't speak Italian. My friend told me he was going to a fancy dress party dressed as an Italian island. I told him don't be silly. Comment. Silly islands are off bloody Scotland. You mean Sicily. Terrible joke there from Common Human. And are you going to watch the Man United and Chelsea women's final? Says Radical One Punch. When is it? I probably will. Dzeko to score the winner in the final versus City, says Joshua Bowater. Everyone get Manscaped and use code Goldbridge. Trim the bush to make the stump look bigger. It is here. Manscaped.com. Trim the grass. That is fantastic. I mean, they're not even sponsoring the stream, but I have it from the United stand. It is bloody brilliant. I hadn't used mine for 2 months. I'll admit it. And I used it last week. It just makes everything so much better. It is, in the shower, it just, yeah. Anyway, use the code Goldbridge, 20% off and free worldwide shipping at manscaped.com. You won't regret it. Thanks for that, Zidane's hair. The thing about this is, it makes bald people feel relevant because they never get to do anything with the hair up there, but they can actually feel like, they can do something with hair down there. I presume you don't go bald down there if you're bald. I don't know. And people will say, of course you don't, but why would I know whether a bald man goes bald down there as well or not? I don't know. Why would I know? I don't want to know. I wouldn't look to know. So I'm presuming you don't, and bald people can use Manscaped, but maybe if you go bald up there, you do go bald down there. I don't know, and it'd be sus if I did know. And I think it's sus if you know in the chat as well. But if you can, and you want to match, Manscaped, 20% off. I'm not reading any chats about whether you're bald and whether what happened goes down there either. See, just Keevan's saying, you might be onto something good there. Oh, I do love the watch-alongs on That's Football. They're just very different to... They're very different to the United stand where I get very stressed. We do have some good conversations on here. Milan with the cross there. And they haven't even had a chance yet. 27 minutes gone and they've not even had a decent chance yet. Of course, Kalinoglu used to play for AC Milan. Brahm and Bastoni having a little bit of a pushing contest. I love the look of Barella for United, Mark, says Jared. I know Liverpool were interested in him. He's a good player. I don't know. The thing is, not many Italian players leave Italy. I mean, Verratti did it relatively young and he's never gone back. But there's not that many Italian players that do leave Serie A. Mark, would you rather end the season now as is or see it out? Can't wait for the New York show, says Kevin. Why would I end the season now? We don't know whether we get fourth or win the FA Cup. Mark, always wondered, wouldn't it be trim the grass to make the tree look bigger instead of your yard? Thoughts? No, because if you've ever had an overgrown garden, it looks messy. And if you trim the grass, it makes everything look tidier and better. Mkhitaryan's breaking through again. He's lost the ball that time. Thanks for the super chats, by the way. You can do that through the $sign. Got a lovely cup of tea now. Cross-brand promotion. United stand. What's that you say? Well, that's my other channel. It's a Man United channel. Might not work for some of you. And we're starting another channel next year as well, Wrexham, the Wrexham stand. There's just so much money to be made out of it. They're blowing up now, so we're starting the Wrexham stand next year. You think we're joking, don't you? You think I'm joking? You're in for a shock in August. We've got like... Oh, side netting from a lovely little flick. People actually think you're joking. Think you're definitely joking. I'm not joking. I get on with Ben Foster. I speak to him every week. The Wrexham stand with an interview with Ben Foster guaranteed each week. Disney, TikTok, come on. It's an absolute no-brainer. The sad thing is there's genuine Wrexham fans going, oh, don't let him do it. He shouldn't be able to do it. We've already got a fan channel for our channel. Real Wrexham fans. Tough. He's in again. Oh, that's a penalty. He's given it. He's given a penalty. To me, it could have been a red. I don't know why it's not a red. I don't know why it's not a red. He's through one-on-one. Why is that not a red? Why is that not a red? I can't understand it. It's not a genuine attempt to get the ball. Tell me, people. Tell me. Oh no, I don't think... Is it Tamori who gives it away? Well, no, it's not. I think that's got to be a red. Oh, there's another defender coming by. Okay, I see it now. But it's definitely a penalty. I don't think you can deny that. Not the last man. I thought he was the last man. No, double jeopardy doesn't exist. It has to be a genuine attempt to win the ball. Oh, he's going to VAR. Maybe it's not a penalty then. If they're asking him to review it, it's going to get overturned. Not a penalty, says Tom White. Well, it can't be a penalty if they're reviewing it on VAR. Well, I don't know. He does catch his heel. He's going to say no. No, he's overturned it. Mark, I've been in a bad place the last 8 months and I was suicidal for a lot of it, but here I am tuning in because this and the United stand has distracted me so much, says Belf. Good news, mate. And I'm not here to champion the community that we have here or the United stand, but I will. And I'd say that to anybody who's feeling down. Something I've used a lot is that you've got to find the thing that's positive and focus on that and just take it day to day. It doesn't surprise or shock me when people say that they're struggling mentally. And I think it's a real positive when you find something positive to, focus your mind on. And the saying I was going to say is, I mentioned it before, it was something I heard Tom Hanks say, and I think he learned it from somewhere else, that it shall pass. Whenever there's something bad going on or you're feeling down about something, the reality is life teaches you that it shall pass. And, I remember being in maths when I was about 12 and they'd had these new curtains put up and I had this fountain pen that apparently you could, it came with this white pen that if you could write something and it would make it disappear. So I wrote on these curtains that my mate wanted to do something with this girl and I went to use my pen to wipe it off and it wouldn't go off. I was like, oh shit, I'm in trouble now. So the teacher was like, who's done that? And it was right next to where I sat. And he went mad. He was like, those curtains have just been put there. I'm ringing your parents and you're going to have to pay for those. And I thought, I'm going to be in so much shit. And the reality is, they rang my parents up. My parents said he's not paying for it, stop bullying him, and I didn't have to do it. And it was fine. which was a strong message for me. You can criminalise and commit criminal damage and get away with it. But it passed. I was panicking and I was worried, and it shall pass. So look, very powerful message, and not from me, from the person who said that. And I'm glad you found something positive. Arsenal and Newcastle will get a tough group next year because they are pot 3 or 4, says Mohammed. And Tamari is crap. Spot on, Southgate, says Steve. I just love people who've never watched Tamori and he's having not such a great game and then suddenly he's shit. Donny says, keep strong, Belf. Look, you're part of the community, mate, and that's important when you're feeling lonely or down or whatever. You're part of this community. That's what we've built. I haven't filmed driving with Goldbridge yet. My plan is to do it tomorrow and then put it up tomorrow afternoon again. Who do you think is the worst United player you've ever watched? Says Min. Well, I think if you wanted to go for individualistic performances, you could go for people like Beppe and Jemba and Prunier and people like that. But I think it's better if you say, who's the worst Man United player who's played more than 20 games? Because I think that means they're consistent. I mean, I personally think Fellaini was crap. But people will say, well, he scored goals. He scored important goals, and he did. But I do think he was a crap footballer. The best centre-back in Italy is Chris Smalling. He's unreal, says Paul. Yeah. Love that Tom Hanks quote. You're feeling down. This too shall pass. It's a great quote, Jack. I think it's so important. And you think about all those people who struggle out there mentally, and you just want to get that message to them. Who do you think is the worst? I've done that one from Min. Well done, VAR. Yeah. Seen it twice, haven't we, Woo? In the last few days, VAR has actually done what it can do well. Newcastle, Arsenal, and here. I don't care what anyone says. Martinez is the one, says everything. Product reviews. But we've got 9 minutes to go to half time here. It's been a fantastic game. I feel it's been underrated a little bit because obviously Real Madrid and Man City are the favourites and it's the glamour tie. But I think it's been a cracking game, this. And it's hard at the moment to see a way back for AC Milan. They're struggling. There's a question for you. Why haven't Inter Milan got a sponsor? Their owner's very rich, isn't he? Are they still Chinese owned, Inter Milan? Of course, the Elliott Group used to have something to do with AC Milan. VAR yesterday, says Eddie, was not so good. And Robbo said, hold on, here we go. Bit of a break for AC Milan. But again, no foul going. Gandalf obviously doesn't believe in positive thinking. You shall not pass, says Robbo96. It was there, it was always there. Good evening, Mark, says Tommy. Good evening, pal. Apparently their sponsors went bust halfway through the season. And that was from Paul Price. The price is right. I love it. I'm here all week. If you could take one player from AC and one from Inter, who would you take? Paul, I've been meaning to answer this for a while. Thank you very much. Nasty foul by Hernandez here. Well, no, he's going to let it go. If I could take one player from Inter Milan, I like Barella. I think he'd fit perfectly to what Man United want. So yeah, Barella for me. AC Milan, their best player is Leao. So the question is, do you take Leao? They don't really have a striker. I like Tonali, but I'd take Barella. So yeah, I'd probably take Leao and Barella. Although Marvin AM says Magnon and Barella, their goalkeeper's good. Not a bad shout. I mean, Man United need a centre-back, a midfielder and a striker. I mean, look, I honestly wouldn't mind taking Tomori either. I like Tomori. I know he's not having a great game tonight, but I'm not an idiot. I don't just judge people on one player. Take one player from Arsenal, says Danny Doritos. I think from Arsenal, I'm tempted to take Saliba. Mark, I've seen this debate going around. Rank who's the biggest to smallest team. Newcastle. I like these sort of things, Rob. We'll keep them coming in. Who's the biggest to smallest? Newcastle, Villa and Everton. Ooh, okay. Well, Newcastle have got the biggest fan base. Aston Villa's the bigger club. I mean, the honest answer is, in relation to status, Aston Villa and Everton are ahead of Newcastle, just based on what they've won. Remember, Everton have won a league title in my lifetime. Just. Newcastle have never won anything in my lifetime. Everton and Aston Villa have. It's a good question. I think in 10 years' time, it will be a very different answer. But who's the biggest club based on... And I'm not going based on capacity. I think that's silly. Who's the bigger club? You could do it on fan base if you wanted to. Depends what you class as who's the biggest. I'm just going to go on status, and I'm going to go Aston Villa 1, Everton 2, Newcastle 3rd at the moment. Mkhitaryan is the midfield Armenian. Mark, after all the ups and downs he's had, I would love when he played for us. I believe he was the main reason we won the Europa League, says Nick. I loved Mkhitaryan at Man United. I remember some games he'd come on, and it was almost like some United players didn't want to pass to him. But Mkhitaryan was one of many sort of attacking midfielders that came into United that we misused. Mata, Kagawa, Mkhitaryan. There's another one. There is another. I can't think. Ben's going to call into TalkSport now. You've put them 3rd. Yeah, I'm looking forward to my TalkSport show on Saturday. I'm hoping we get more calls like Ben. Donny. Poll on who's had the better season, Rashford or Saka, says Danny. I'll do that for you, yeah. Hi Mark, seen as you keep saying about United need a centre-back, is that as a backup centre-back or to start over Varane or Martinez, says Jack. Giroud on the cut, on the turn. Good block. Milan are pushing hard here, 42 minutes. I'll do that poll for you. And then I'll answer that question. Let's do some polls actually. Let's get into that. Make sure you subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. We're nearly at 553,000. Who has had the better season? Saka or Rashford? Do Man United need to buy a starting centre-back, or do they need to buy a backup centre-back? The answer's really easy. I believe Pep Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp and Ten Hag would agree with this. You don't buy backups. They might start off as a sub-player, but you don't buy backups. You buy players that are good enough to start, and you let them compete against each other. So, if I had the choice between Saliba and a backup centre-back, I'd go Saliba, because I want Varane and Saliba to battle it out. I don't want a backup. Get you voting on the poll. Who's had the best season, Rashford or Saka? Somebody's forgot to turn the AC on, says Dylan. Somebody, yeah, thank you very much for your chat. Fisk, welcome to the Members Club. And if you had the choice and could only have one this summer, would you go for Victor Osimhen or Jude Bellingham, says Z3? I'd go for Osimhen, mate. Goals win games, don't they? I'm not saying that Osimhen's better than Bellingham, but goals win games. Like, you got to score goals. I mean, I think strikers get a lot more credit than other positions, obviously, but they are important because they do what they do. Another foul. Do you think the AC Milan team who lost in Istanbul is the best team to not win the Champions League, says Baron? I personally think the best team to not win the Champions League was Manchester United 2009, and I'm biased. I think it was a very good United side. Still had Ronaldo in it. I just think we caught the beginning of Barcelona and Messi, didn't we? Saka's winning with 67%, by the way. 4 minutes added on in this first half. 2-0 to Inter Milan. Stunning start. Calhanoglu also hit the post. He could have made it 3. AC Milan haven't laid a glove on the Inter Milan defence yet. Another yellow card. So we'll close that poll. It's Saka, 68%. I've got another one for you. Who is the best Donny? Donny van der Beek or Donny Osmond? Get your votes in. I don't know what that was. It was sort of a cough hiccup. A cock up. I've done it again. I've got the hiccups now. Live on air, I'll tell you how to get rid of the hiccups. I might have done it already. I might not be a professional footballer. I might not be a millionaire. But I can get rid of hiccups. If there was a tournament in the Olympics for who can get rid of the hiccups the quickest, I would win. I can literally get rid of them like that. You have to wait for the cycle of a hiccup. What tends to happen with a hiccup is you go, hiccup, and then you'll have another one about 5 to 10 seconds later, and then it will continue annoyingly for a long time. But from that first hiccup, there won't be another one with me if I focus. I basically use a Jedi mind trick. I can just go, this isn't the body you're looking for. Disappear. No, I don't. It's all about swallowing. And not like that. Mark, I'm getting married this summer. Would love to invite you to my wedding in India. Hope Sheikh Jazim buys Man United and this would be the best year, says DK. I can't go. But what we could do is, if you could get a life-size cardboard cutout of me, and I could send you clips of interesting conversations and just random, he's bloody missed it, and then you could just stick me in the corner and then put the tape recorder behind, and it'll be like I'm there. I'll even record some random conversations for you. Like, people can come over and go, hello, what do you think about United's transfer window this summer? And I can go, I will buy, and I'll just record the audio and you put it behind the cardboard thing, and I'll go, personally, I would buy Osimhen up front for this reason. It will make a lonely person feel relevant for 5 minutes. The gift that keeps on giving. Maybe I should do one of them toys. Remember they did it on that Extras series where it was like, you're having a laugh. You're having a laugh. Do a Goldbridge doll where cross comes in. Oh, it's not gone in. Mark, please do more reacting to TikTok videos, says Brandon. This is the trouble. Mark, please do this, please do that. Do cooking with Goldbridge. Do driving with Goldbridge. Do Go for a lasagna with Margot Robbie. You know, they're all things I'd like to do. I've got my sitcom to bloody film as well. I'm never going to get that done. This year I wanted to do my sitcom. I'm never going to get it done. Something's got to go. I think I'm going to bin the charity stream off this year. They've had enough out of me. Please become Wrexham manager. Don't forget, August the 1st, launching brand new YouTube channel, hosted by Mark Goldbridge, the Wrexham Stand. I think it's going to be really popular. It's half time here. People think I'm joking. You won't on August the 1st. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner, to this channel. We're on the way to 1 million. But I tell you what, who's on the way to the Champions League final at the moment? And it ain't AC Milan. They're 2-0 down here at half time. Join us after the break. There is no break. There is no break. Stephen says, just as long as you don't record yourself yelling get in, might be taken the wrong way at a wedding. Yeah, if I do that cardboard cutout, don't put me in the bridal suite and get me to record get in. I'm not commentating on anything like that. Oh, that makes me want to throw up. I've heard of people, like, when they're making out, they put, like, Lionel Richie on and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know what Lionel thinks about that. I've never thought of it like that. You know, these people have making out music. I wonder what Lionel Richie thinks about how many times he's had to sing to people banging away. But it would make me physically throw up if I thought that somebody had an audio clip of me while they're going at it, going, get in, get in, get in. He's bloody missed it. You know, I don't want any part in anything like that. Anyway, who's winning? Who is the best Donny? Van der Beek or Osmond? I'm happy to say that Donny van der Beek is winning with 61% of the vote. Thanks for giving us a reminder on that. Robbo says Van der Beek over Osmond is criminal. Even Van der Beek would rate Osmond over him, says Robbo, 96. Here's another one for you. I'm liking this tonight. We're having a bit of fun. It is a Champions League semi-final, but we also like a bit of banter on here. You can get him in. Who is the best Gary? Gary Lineker, Gary Neville, or for people who know, Gary Wilmot. Let's go. I'm sure there's another favourite. There's another famous Gary, isn't there? There's Gary Lineker, there's Gary Neville, and there's Gary Barlow. That was it. Not Glitter. No, we're not. That would be. Neville would reply to me if we put him in there. He wouldn't want that. It should have been Gary Barlow. It should have been Gary Barlow. Oh, I'm not reading that. You just made a clip, says Sar East. What for what? What have I said? Lots of people are enjoying the show. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Football's good and the chat is good tonight. Worst signing in football history, considering price and performance, I would have to say Coutinho, Danny. Danny, why are you being serious? This is like the last lesson of school when you're breaking up. Everyone's brought Buckaroo in and having a laugh, and Danny wants to do his bloody 10 times table. Danny, we're having a laugh. We're having a bit of a fun here. No, seriously though, worst signing in football history, considering price and performance, would have to say Coutinho. Yeah, what, to Barcelona? Who's the most expensive flop is what you meant to say. Yeah. Well, I can answer that one very, very quickly. Have you been told you look like Danny Dyer, mate? No, because I don't. Gary Wilmot is losing with 22%. Gary Neville's got 38%, and Gary Lineker's got 40%. Barlow's waiting them in the final. Is Wilmot the one who had spit the dog, or maybe I'm thinking of someone else? I don't even know what Gary Wilmot did. It was the first name that came to my head. He always had a happy smiley face. He's 69 now. No wonder he had a happy smiley face. Sometimes the jokes just naturally happen. He's happily married to Sarah Hill. Don't know who she is. And what does Gary Wilmot do now? So far he's played roles in Dick Whittington's Snow White and Seven. He basically lives off pantomime, doesn't he? When people search for Gary Wilmot, they also search for Julian Clary. Don't know. He used to be on the telly when I was a kid, Gary Wilmot. I don't know what he used to do. Television presenter. There we go. Who'd have thought we'd be talking about Gary Wilmot? I remember Lineker, Shatty's Jocks versus Ireland. Only reason he got my vote. Says, well, Gary Lineker's pulling away here. So he's won it with 40%, 41%. I'd have voted for Gary Neville because Gary Lineker's got me blocked on Twitter. And I don't know why. I just don't know why anymore. The best Gary's Gary Barlow. I wouldn't even put him in a poll. I wouldn't even lower myself to put him in a poll. Mark is best mates with Luke Shaw's agent, says Tom. Do a bet with Neville. If Stockport beat Salford over 2 legs, you go on the overlap. It's not how it's going to go, County's going. But I think Stockport have got a good chance. By sounds of it, I think Stockport have got a good chance. But, you know, it'd be good if Salford don't get promoted, because then when I'm doing the Wrexham stand next year, that'll be massive, won't it? Massive. Salford against Wrexham. Watchalong. Nigella Lawson or Carol Vorderman? No, you're not getting the concept. We're doing names. We're doing the best names. Mark, have you ever seen? Have you seen the same facial features as Eric Dyer? No, I don't. Ajit. Can you do Casemiro versus Rodri poll? Current form. Mikel. Okay. Well, being as you asked nicely, I will. But it's not really what the sort of poll I want to do. But I will do it. Casemiro. Rodri. Do you know, Mark, that Gary Barlow supports Liverpool? I do, Rachel. I do. I can't believe that Mark Hughes manages Bradford, Dan, in League Two. I mean, I respect it. He loves football, but Mark Hughes, one of the, you know what, say what you like about Mark Hughes, and I think he can be a bit miserable, but what a footballer he was. I mean, Mark Hughes has got to be a United legend. He was bloody brilliant when he played for us. I just think he was a bit moody. He always seemed to have it in for United after he left. Definitely a United legend, but he always just seemed to have it in for us a bit. But considering he's managed the likes of Chelsea, Blackburn Rovers, Man City, he's now managing Bradford in League Two, who are in the playoffs. Guess Mark Hughes' age. No, that's a stupid thing. 59. He's got years left. He's probably made a lot of money. Would you rather Weghorst as number 1 striker for 10 years and we get Qatar or Glazer stay, and we get Osman this summer and get Qatar 10 years? Yeah, I'm not reading that. I'm not answering that, Ashan. You know, I'm not reading that. What are you talking about? Would I rather do this, that, and the other? Would you rather Weghorst as number 1 striker for 10 years and we get Qatar or Glazer stay? We get Osman this summer and get Qatar. I don't even know what that means. I'd rather get Osman. There you go. I've answered your question. I don't know what you're talking about. We're 100 subscribers away from 953,000. So please do subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. There was a really good question. I was trying to find it there. I'm going to go and find it here. Most expensive football players ever. So let's have a look. Well, the most expensive player in the world is apparently Neymar for 222 million. So who's the biggest flop expensive player in the world? I've got a list in front of me here, so I'm a bit. I'm. So you got Neymar, Mbappe, João Felix, Enzo Fernandez, Coutinho. I think Coutinho is a good shout. Because he's the fifth most expensive sign. Well, no, actually, the joint fifth most expensive signings of all time are probably the two biggest flops. Coutinho to Barcelona and Griezmann to Barcelona. They flopped. Both of them did. Enzo Fernandez to Chelsea too soon. João Felix to Atletico Madrid actually did quite well, really. Kylian Mbappe, PSG, and Neymar to PSG. I mean, to be honest, I'd score goals for PSG, so they've not flopped. Lukaku, Inter to Chelsea, probably a flop as well. Dembele to Barcelona has done all right recently. Grealish to Man City is doing well now. Pogba to United it wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. Bale to Madrid worked. Ronaldo to Juventus worked. Hazard to Madrid didn't really work. Mudryk to Chelsea too soon. Antony to Man United too soon. Ronaldo to Real Madrid from Man United worked. Higuain worked. Harry Maguire, number 17. Yeah, for me, my top three biggest flops of all time based on price would be Harry Maguire at number 3 for 80 million, and then I would put Griezmann at number 2 to Barcelona, and number 1, I would agree, it is Coutinho. Casemiro has beaten Rodri in the either-or category. That's going to cause a few problems, that is. That will do. Is there any way back in the second half for AC Milan? Well, of course there are. They're 2-0 down. 2-0 is a dangerous scoreline in football. I do feel that AC Milan have got to score their next goal. Mark, can you do the best bill? Gates, Cosby, Murray or Oddie? Says Nick P. I would do. I'd be happy to do it, Nick P. The problem is most people will not know who those people are. It's very Partridge. I've got a poll for you here. Get ready for this. Sometimes I can't type quick enough. It's got a bit of a Take That theme, but it's also got a football theme and a Star Wars theme and a That's Football theme. Who is the best Mark? Mark Hughes, Mark Hamill, Mark Goldbridge or Mark Owen? Get your votes in. Who is the best Mark? Mark Hughes, Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, Mark Goldbridge or Mark Owen of Take That? Get your votes in. Mark, loving the show. Conversely, who's the best transfer, let's say above £50 million? I'd say Ronaldo to Madrid, paid 80, he scored 450. Yeah, nick it. You haven't nicked it. You've got it absolutely spot on. Hi, Mark. Going through a bit of a rough patch at the moment. And when you said that, I thought like you were walking through like mud with a few stones in it. I really hope I'm not going to regret saying that. Bobby says, I'm going through a bit of a rough patch at the moment and really appreciate the watch-alongs, driving Goldbridge and the rest. Keep it up, mate. That went well. If he'd have said, hi, I'm going through a bit of a rough patch at the moment, and it'd been a bit something, you'd given us more detail, I'd have felt a bit sick with guilt. But you've kept it to yourself, which is actually not what you should do, Bobby. You should be opening up and letting us know, but don't now because I'll feel bad about talking about stones and mud. But again, on the serious, great to know that you don't feel great and our community is making you feel part of something, because you are. So that's great. And there is a new Driving with Goldbridge coming up tomorrow, so I can promote and make you feel better, which is a positive for both of us. Hopefully be out about 2:00 tomorrow. But keep it up, mate. Bobby, thank you. You're a legend. Thoughts on Bernie? Don't know who it is, Luke. Best Irish players in United's history, not including Best or Keane. Dennis Irwin. A Moose, thank you very much for that. Thanks for subscribing. Sorry, if you super chat. Messi or Ronaldo, give me a full review based on both careers, says AMR. I'll tell you what, I'll say the same to what my English literature teacher said when they told me to go and read Animal Farm overnight and give a full review to the class the next day. The next day I said I didn't read it. I don't take orders from you. I was watching Manchester United play Gothenburg in the Champions League. Do you want a review on that? If you don't, swivel on it. I'm not giving you a full review on Messi and Ronaldo. I'll tell you this. Messi's a God-given talent. Ronaldo worked at it. I prefer Ronaldo because he played for Manchester United. Is it true that Roy Hodgson was in the same high school with Winston Churchill? I can't believe the amount of clubs that Roy Hodgson has managed. I'm happy to say that in the battle of who is the best Mark, you can vote in the poll. Mark Hughes has got 9%. Mark Hamill has got 20%. Goldbridge has got 66%. And Owen has got 5%. Therefore, 65% of the people think I'm better than Luke Skywalker. Hey, if they want me if they want me to play, you know what I think I could play. They should do a new trilogy between Return of the Jedi and them rubbish trilogy. I mean, they destroyed Luke. They destroyed Luke Skywalker in the new trilogy. They absolutely destroyed him. When he was drinking the milk from that alien's tit, that was the low point for me. That really was the low point. This is a guy that I've got Lego sets about, figures. You know, this is the guy that saved the galaxy, had his arm chopped off, hand. Wonder we. Anyway. And then they bring him back to get him to drink milk from an alien's tit. I mean, whoever wrote that is a prat. And whoever of the 100 people at Disney read that script and thought, that's a great idea. One of the most iconic heroes of the last 50 years, we're going to get him to drink milk from an alien's tit. I mean, I can't speak. I can't speak. Let's end the poll. I've won. Mark, it's not a spoiler. There's no plot to that. He just gets a bottle from an alien's tit and drinks it. It's not like the secret to blowing up the Death Star. Go to an island and drink the alien's milk tit and it'll blow up the Death Star. No, there's no plot to it at all. Mark, who did your Italian side of the family support? United or Serie A side? Was your granddad who supported United Italian or English? I must know more. Goldbridge history. You're very nosy, Nick. No, it's not the Italian side that supported Man United. Duma says, does Mrs. Goldbridge and the family bridge find you funny? No. That's why I have to stream. Paul McGrath was better than Dennis Irwin. Irwin was fantastic. I'm two positions, but McGrath was world class, says Anthony Dunn. Yeah, but McGrath, I didn't really watch McGrath play for Man United. I was too young. He was at Villa when I knew about him, and he pushed in on a flight to Dublin once and was quite rude. So I sort of held that against him as well. It was the whole "do you know who I am" thing. And look, he's a legend in Ireland, but ultimately, don't meet your heroes. Favourite cricketer? Don't really care. I go with Irwin anyway. I loved Irwin. Poll on Graham's. I love the name Graham. Graham Norton, Graham Souness, and Graham Potter. If I had to pick one to manage my club, it would be Norton, says Reese. Who are all your favourite players in each position? I'm not answering that, Tiger Claws. And Ziad, thank you very much. We've got a free kick here for AC Milan. It's quite central. It's too far out. He's going to have to put the cross in, Tonali. Let's see what happens here. Waste of a free kick, that. Right, let's do another poll. This is a serious one. Pirlo in the crowd. So our next poll is going to be, who is the best Harry? Harry Maguire, Harry Kane, or Prince Harry? Oh, I should have done Harry Potter. Yeah, I missed an open goal there. I respect your opinion on the Messi-Ronaldo difference, but if Messi was all about talent, he would not show such longevity, says Amara. Oh, is AC Milan? Well wide. Thank you for the point. Well raised. Mark, in Switzerland, Roy's a legend. Switzerland qualified for the World Cup in '94 because of Roy. He's very popular here. By the way, will you do a show in Switzerland? Would love you here, says DK. Mate, if I did a show in Switzerland, the only people that would turn up is you and a bar of Toblerone, which may not be made in Switzerland, actually, now I think about it. I don't think there's a huge following for That's Football or United Stand in Switzerland. We could just meet up and have a pint. I like Switzerland. I've been to Switzerland. It's a lovely place. The air is just beautiful. Well, it might not be now, but when I went there 20 years ago. Toblerone is a Swiss chocolate brand owned by the Mondelez International, produced in Bern, Switzerland, sometimes manufactured elsewhere in the past, and planned to be made in Slovakia from the end of 2023. You've just learnt something. We are about football, we are about banter, but you can learn something. Toblerone is Swiss, but is soon to be made in Slovakia. Why? We're all asking why. Why Toblerone in Slovakia? What's going on here? It's like taking Guinness from Dublin and taking it and making it in Wrexham. Oh, guess why? The chocolate bar's US owner Mondelez have opted to move production to chocolate factories in Bratislava, Slovakia, in order to cut costs. What a surprise. What a surprise. You know, that's dangerous because Cadbury's chocolate is made in Birmingham, in Bourneville. Now, chocolate uses liquid. I think it might use some water as well. There'll be a different chain. It'll be a different flavour. Somebody said that was a huge chance for AC Milan. Not really. It was a good position. He didn't hit it well. Best Champions League manager poll: Zidane, Ancelotti, Mourinho. Says Whitecat. Boring. Who's your favourite gold-based character? Goldbridge, Goldmember, or Goldilocks? Says Deuce. Thanks, mate. Next goal's really important in this game. Will it be Milan? Will it be... Well, it will be Milan who score next. Will it be AC? Will it be Inter? Guinness is not made in Runcorn in Cheshire. It's made in Dublin as well. They've got different places where they do it. But the real Guinness is in Ireland. Everybody knows that. No, I think if you're doing the best gold, it's either Goldbridge, Goldilocks, Goldie Looking Chain, or Going for Gold by Spandau Ballet. Or Going for Gold presented by Henry Kelly, which for me is still the best ever game show ever. I never understood how they did that because immigration wasn't a thing in the 80s. So Going for Gold used to be on every day on the BBC. This should be 3. Oh, what a save by Menyon. I'll come back to that great story in a minute. But Dzeko's through one-on-one. That is a big chance. That's a big chance. He slipped him in one-on-one. This for the game, maybe. 3-0 it would have been. And Magnon's out very, very quickly. Saves it with his feet as well. Great save. Great save. Kenneth says, Baddesley Clinton is named after the manor house that stands in the village and it's open to the public. I know, I've been. I know. It's not too far away from another one, which I can't remember the name of now. There's Baddesley Clinton and there's something house. I'm tempted to say Paddock House, but that's not right. Packwood House, that's it. Dance 1211. Switzerland won the 1988 Eurovision contest with Ne Partez. But who sang it, Mark? Says Dance. Don't know. There are many United fans in Switzerland and here in the chat. I know a senior who is 86 and saw the Busby Babes at a FIFA Youth Cup. FIFA is in Zurich. I know no Swiss person who likes Toblerone, says DK. Wow. I know someone here who likes Toblerone. I bloody love Toblerone, I do. I love the little bits of nougat in there. I love Toblerone. I love Toblerone, me. Who would you rather be belly flopped on by, Mark Henry or get kicked in the downstairs by the great Kali? Jack, that's just weird. Paul on Johns, John Cena, John Barnes, or your mate John, says Hazib. I don't know why that made me laugh. Harry Kane is winning the Harrys. I tell you what, that just shows you how unpopular Prince Harry is, because Harry Kane's got 46%. Harry Maguire's got 35% and Prince Harry's got 19%. When you're getting beaten by Harry Maguire in a poll, you know you're not very popular. Who is the best Eric? Eric the Red or Eric Ten Hag, says Jack. Anyway, let me go back to this story. So there used to be this programme when I was great. If you grew up in the late 80s, early 90s and you were off sick, you knew what Going for Gold was. You knew what Sons and Daughters was. You knew what The Flying Doctors was. Crap TV that was on in the day and you were off ill. Going for Gold was presented by Henry Kelly. He was Irish. It didn't matter. It wasn't relevant. Go, the heat is on. The time is right. The time is you. People are coming. Everyone's trying to be the best that they can when they're going for gold. And basically, right, the concept was really good for this quiz, but what threw me is every show there was 8 contestants, and they were always from a different country. So you'd get John from England, you'd get Ronan from Ireland, you'd get Dougie from Scotland, you'd get Carol from Wales. But then you'd get Olaf from Sweden, or Hans from Denmark, or Gruber from Germany. Just realised I've done Hans Gruber, who is actually the full name of someone from Die Hard. But this was every show, and England in the 80s didn't have loads of. It was there wasn't a Channel Tunnel or anything like that. So I always used to think, where do they get all these foreigners from every day? Do they fly them in specifically for this? But yeah, and they were proper foreign. Like if they were French, they'd be going, Je voudrais a drink, Henri. Not Thierry, Henry Kelly. Anyway, let's end the poll. Harry Kane has won the Harrys. Redo the poll, include Harry Potter, says Alex. There are many United have done that from DK. Thank you very much. Thanks for the super chats tonight, by the way. Very, very, very well received. Who's the best Ronnie? Ronnie O'Sullivan, Ronnie Pickering, or Ronnie Wood, says the Arser. You could have said Ronnie Cray. Or Ronnie Whelan. Time for a stretch. I needed that stretch. I've got a really stiff back. Oh. I'll tell you what, if you like stretching, and for me, I could stretch all day. I'm going to show you this stretch. It's so good. If you've got lower back pain, right? So there's my leg, and that's my other leg, and that's my other leg. So really, basically, what you do is you put one foot behind the other, like that, and you just bend over. And the stretch you get on the back of the back left hamstring and calf, all the way up to the buttock, is just absolutely incredible. It feels great. Oh. And then you swap over and you do the other side, and you get it on the other side as well. It's like having a Twix. Double the joy. Oh. You might laugh now, but when you get older, stretching will become very enjoyable because everything gets stiff. Although for a couple of mates from school were out with us at Christmas and they said they're really struggling. Thankfully, I've never struggled with that. But erectile dysfunction is no laughing matter, apparently. I'm just licking my lips. I'm trying to be serious. It's not. You know, we've spoken about mental health. Now we're going to speak about another something serious. I can't give any evidence about it because it's not something I struggle with. But yeah, if you are struggling with it, go and see a doctor. Stress is apparently a big factor. But anyway, back to stretching. Brilliant, love it. Stretching with Goldbridge. It's basically amateur yoga, isn't it? Who's the real Michael? Jordan, Jackson, or Carrick? I love this. These are brilliant. I've got to shout out my friend Michael, who started it all off by messaging me about the first one we did. Who's the real Jordan? Who's the real Michael? Jordan, Jackson, or Carrick? Well, I never liked Michael. I've said this before. I never liked Michael Jackson's music, and I know that's going to be very controversial. I could tweet that controversial take. I never liked Michael Jackson's music. Some would say I was ahead of the game. I knew there was something not right, but it wasn't that. I'm not judging. Nobody did. No one will now. But I just never liked the music. It's just not my cup of tea. Well, Prince, didn't like him either. MC Hammer, different story. Loved it. Vanilla Ice, loved it. But Prince and Michael Jackson, you can forget 1999. You can party till bloody 2019. I'm not dancing, Prince. Terrible. Rest in peace, but your music's not really for me. Man in the Mirror was alright. But I'm not a massive fan of the Beatles either. I think they're overrated. Give me Queen or a-ha any day. I'm sad to hear about McGrath. Wonder if he was back on... No, excuse for bad manners, but Irwin not keen. I'm surprised. Says Anthony. Done. No, I wasn't allowed to pick Keane. Got another foul on AC Milan and the referee... I tell you what. Back on the game here. This referee will not give AC Milan anything. He just really doesn't like AC Milan. He won't give them anything. I mean, that's a foul. That is a foul. Every replay of the fouls he won't give for AC Milan, I think is a foul. That's what I do. I just think it is. I think it's a foul. My God, is Gary Neville gone odd recently? Have you seen his latest tweet? The winner of this gets City or Madrid. Surely neither will have a chance in the final. I follow Gary. I'm sure he's got me on mute. His tweets over the last 2 weeks have gone really downhill. I don't know if someone else has got hold of his Twitter and he's gone to an admin. I don't know whether he's just trying to be like Thogden and just get loads of likes. But it's like Thogden's took over his Twitter. It's very, very low appeal. Like, really, it's like he's trying to cater for anybody. The winner of this gets City or Madrid. Surely neither will have a chance in the final. I mean, he's not even put... No, he's put surely neither will have a chance. Yeah, I mean... It's had 570 replies. I'm not even going to read them. I would just skim past that, personally. What's his next tweet? Tonight it's Wednesday, and at midnight it will be Thursday. I wonder what the weather will be like. Says it's going to rain. Hope not. Oh! Tonali hits the post. He wants a corner. I think it did deflect. They could have done with that going in. Did it catch a deflection? Tonali on the edge of the box. It's a good hit. Well, we've seen the woodwork hit twice tonight, and both shots. It's a corner. It's a corner. It's a block by Bastoni. There's a corner, that. Are you a fan of Jamiroquai? No. I always thought he was a bit of a big head. Because he had big hats, probably. But no. A lot of people did like Jamiroquai, just wasn't my cup of tea. I think it was the dancing. He used to do all this. Basically, that's all I think of. No. I like the cars he had. Probably a nice bloke, but didn't like his music. Hi, Mark. Thank you very much for that question, though, Giz. Or Giz. Redo the... I've done that from Alex. Poor taste in music. I know what I like, Stu. I'm not afraid to say that I like Take That. I'm not afraid to say that I like Oasis. And I'm not afraid to say I think the Beatles are overrated. My music tastes quite good. If you spoke to people, I was one of the first people to get Coldplay's album. I read about them in Melody Maker, in the small print. I thought they sound interesting. Got their album, told a few people about it. Next thing I know, they're massive. What's the largest animal you could cling film to a lamppost? Says Retro. What's the largest animal you think you could knock out with one punch? I've thought about this a lot. If they let me do it, I think I could knock out a shark. I don't know how we'd do it because water would slow me down. I think they'd have to stick their chin out. Keep your mouth shut. You're not allowed to bite. Stick your nose out, like you're trying to get a bit of meat, and bang, right on that bit there. I reckon it's going down. A bear would be difficult, but I reckon I could do it. I think, if it's got a jaw, you've just got to jolt it. Imagine how satisfying it would be to knock out a polar bear. Like, just chin it. It'd be better than knocking out Usyk. Imagine having that. Here lies Mark Goldbridge, which we wouldn't say that because I'd have to use my real name. Here lies Mark Goldbridge, loving father, billionaire, knocked out a polar bear. They wouldn't care about the billionaire bit or loving father. They'd just be like, "What? He knocked out a polar bear?" I'll tell you what, I think that's better than scoring a goal for England at Wembley in a World Cup final. If Harry Kane did that and ran towards me, I'd go, "It's great, Harry. Have you knocked out a polar bear? Watch this." I just want to say, if the RSPCA are watching, I'm not going to practice this, and I wouldn't condone anybody to do it. They'd rip your head off. Not the RSPCA, although they do have quite severe punishments for any animal cruelty, and I firmly back that. But don't try and think about knocking a polar bear out. They'll kill you. They'll annihilate you. It's a hypothetical. What animal do you think you could knock out? One night I was thinking about it. I went from like koala bear to kangaroo. It wasn't just Australian animals. I was thinking about horses. Giraffes would be very hard. You need a ladder. And I think, at the end of the day, giraffes are quite thick. And I must say, this is hypothetical. I would never hit an animal. I wonder where the RSPCA stand on like Red Dead Redemption, because I've shot a rabbit. I didn't even take it for food. It was just there, and the horse needed a rest, so I shot it. Not the horse. I have killed a few horses on Red Dead Redemption as well, just by taking risks. There was a bridge. I decided to cross the river. The horse didn't make it. What's the Yeah, so good question. That probably the best question tonight. Fun fact about sharks: you can knock them unconscious by turning them over in the water. I'd love to see the guy who tried that, Baron. I'd love to see that. I've heard you can make a shark go unconscious by turning it onto its back. Yeah. 20-footer. Good shot straight at the keeper. This has turned into a live sort of going for Goldbridge. Hi, Mark. Reminds me of Jay and In-Betweeners punching koala bears in Aussie. Yeah, Nickets. I do not believe... Somebody... sorry, Nickets. I've just got to go to another comment. I've just seen the word Ollie Mers in the chat. I specifically asked for that word to be blocked. I know he supports Manchester United, but that's not a. There's some horrible people who support Manchester United. I'm not saying that Ollie Mers is a bad person, but there's something. I mean, he was performing at the Coronation the other day. He's got a better agent than Jermaine Genius. I never thought I would ever top turning on the World Cup draw and seeing Jermaine Genius there. I was like, oh my God. It's like seeing Ian Beale get an Oscar. I couldn't believe it. And then the Coronation was on the other night, and there's Ollie Mers again. It's not enough that he turns up for Soccer Aid every year. I mean, all the chat is just saying, who is Ollie Mers? Exactly. He didn't even win X Factor's Got Talent or whatever it is. And he's still hanging about. The last thing I saw Ollie Mers do that wasn't it something to do with popcorn and a hole? I mean, I just don't get it. But he's there every year on Soccer Aid. Coronation. He shouldn't even be on Coronation Street, let alone the Coronation. He's probably a nice bloke in real life. Drop me a message, Ollie. We might get on. He's a wish Gary Barlow, let's be honest. There's only one Gary, and it's Gary Barlow. Bourne says it's true about the shark. If you turn it on its back, it will go unconscious. I'd love to know how you're going to turn. I mean, let me just. I'm going to Google this. How heavy is a shark? Is a great white shark, right? 1,100 kilograms. So that's 1,100 bags of sugar, right? You're in the ocean. It's freezing cold. It's deeper than I nearly said somebody's chuff. I probably still could. You're in the ocean. It's freezing cold. It's deeper than a hooker's chuff. And the shark's coming towards you with a mouth bigger than a hooker's chuff. Wide open, full of teeth. Sharper than Harry Kane's finishing. And you, bobbing around in the water, think you're going to turn that killing machine that weighs 1,100 bags of sugar onto its back. Good luck with that. I'm just going to film it from the boat. My big boat. In fact, I wouldn't even go on a boat near a great white shark. I just wouldn't do it. Mark, what's your thoughts on America and Texas? Feel like everyone thinks it's all cowboys and horses here, but it's far from it. Why is that such a funny comment? I like cowboy films, but I didn't think that. Turning a shark upside down is called tonic immobility. Killer whales do it to sharks, says Chloe. Well, a killer whale probably could do it. They take their livers out and they don't even have a knife and fork. A killer whale kills a great white shark and takes its liver out, which is somewhere under its chest. And they haven't even got a knife. I remember this with bears. Benjamin Witt says, there's a myth about bears. If it's a black bear, fight back. If it's a brown bear, lay down. And if it's a white one, good night. Nah, screw that. I think if you're anywhere near a bear, you're screwed. That doesn't mean it's going to shag you, but I just think they are one of the scariest land killers out there with combine harvesters. I'm scared of combine harvesters. Ever since Superman, if you know, you know. Turning a shark upside down is... I've done it. That, Chloe, thank you very much. You do it with a reef shark or something of that size. Divers do it. Cross comes in, catch by an Anna. Orcas flip great white sharks when they're hunting them down, says Bing. There we go. What a great show it's been tonight. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. What's the next... Would you do a Jaws film? No. No. Why risk it? It's just a film, Goldie. It's just a film. You've just got to get in this cage. The shark's not even real. Yeah, whatever. Something will go wrong. So Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock, I'm live on the United Stands because Manchester United are playing Wolves at 3 o'clock. Saturday night at 7:30 till 9, I'm live on Talk Sport with the call-in. We need more Bens. We need people to call in and challenge. It was great. And then on Sunday, it's a double watch-along. We're doing a double watch-along on Sunday. 2 o'clock, it's Everton against Manchester City. And then straight after that, we're doing Arsenal against Brighton. So that's the next watch-alongs. But there's always daily content on That's Football. So make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Cool says, Mark, is it fair the comparison Ten Hag is having to Ollie that had Cavani and Greenwood scoring with both foots? Cavani was more available than Martial had this season. Your thoughts? I don't get that. Mark, would you rather get eaten by a shark or mauled by a polar bear? We've spoke about this in very big depth, Eddie. I think I would prefer my bigger nemesis, the great white, because one, the headlines would be better because people would always go, he always hated sharks from watching Jaws at 3. And I would hope that I could just, well, I wouldn't be able to do it because I'd be dead, but I would hope that a journalist would say, put up a great fight. But realistically, what I'd actually do, with a polar bear, you're screwed. It's going to get you. All right? With a shark, you're in water. I think it'd be quicker. And you might, if you're lucky, if you see the fin from far enough away, you just swim down and drown yourself, if that's possible. Imagine if you did do that and then someone said, why did he drown himself? It's a dolphin fin. You'd look a right idiot then. Well, you wouldn't. You'd be dead. I'm not taking the risk. 50-50. Is it a dolphin fin? Is it a great white? Have you seen the video of Khabib grappling with a grizzly bear? Says Arif. It wouldn't be a proper one. Mark, with Sean Dyche and a bag of gravel, what is the biggest animal you could knock out with one punch? I'd fancy Sean Dyche against a polar bear. I think that would be a good fight. "15 minutes to go. Milan have struggled." Here's another one. Who's the best Roy? Roy Keane, Roy Cropper, Coronation Street, Roy of the Rovers, or Roy Hodgson? I'll tell you what, I wouldn't mind a cooked breakfast from Roy Cropper. Did you know in the US more people are killed by cows falling on them than sharks eating them per year, says Luke. Well, isn't there something stupid like more people die in the bath than they do in car crashes? No, that's not right. A lot of people do die in car crashes. Rest in peace. Might be plane crashes and bath. I don't know. Me and Seb were talking about this in the bath the other day. He said, "Oh, camera's nearly been hit by the ball there." We were talking about that should be a handball. That should be a bad handball. It hits his hand. The hand is out. If you come across a grizzly bear or a moose, game over. Mark, I think Nirvana is overrated, says Paolo. Why a moose is dangerous? I'm going to read about this. I would not be scared of a moose. Moose is not... Well, they are big. A moose is not aggressive. However, a moose that is stressed may be easily provoked into an attack. Don't go near a moose in Tesco then when he's got to do the weekly shop and it's busy. If provoked, they can be deadly. Who's the best Jimmy? Jimmy Bullard, Jimmy Savile, or Jimmy Carr? Says Haas. I should have read ahead. You should have said Jimmy White. Kicked by a horse or a boxed by a kangaroo. But they're very good at boxing kangaroos. I think they are anyway. I mean, it might just be a novelty thing that they're not actually good at. Some animals like get cliched. Don't mess with a hippo. Now that is true, Zach. Don't mess with a hippo. Could have told a joke about a nightclub then, but we're not going to be weightist. I think that hippos are notoriously dangerous. They're not like the ones on the game Hungry Hippo. They don't smile. They've got tusk teeth. Who's the best Ron? Ron Weasley, Ronaldo, or Ronaldinho? Says it's CJR. I feel like AC Milan need a goal here, but I still think second leg 2-0. But they need Leao back. If you want to put a shark to sleep, let them watch a Spurs game, says Arturo. Rob MUFC says, I've never thought I'd read this out. Get ready for this from Rob. He says, a moose in heat would mess you up badly. I'm Canadian. Trust me. What's a moose in heat got to do with it? Does that mean that they're horny? Do you get it? Mark, please could you wish my mate Mark well on the Great North Swim that he's doing for Teenage Cancer Trust, says Ryan. I definitely will. From one Mark to another. It's fantastic that you're doing that for charity. I want to know more about a moose in heat from Rob. What have you seen, Rob? Who's the best Lionel? Lionel Blair, Lionel Messi, or Lionel Richie? They're all goats of the game in their own way. I'm a big fan of Lionel Richie, by the way. Here we go. No, blocked. Lewis says he's enjoyed the watch along. This is where they can go sometimes. So I enjoy it. It gets driven by you. My favourite bit of the night was talking about what you could hypothetically knock out with your best punch. When are you going to do another Cooking with Goldbridge, says Blaine? I am going to do one. I know what I'm going to do. I've just got to figure out the time to do it. Cooking with Goldbridge is the hardest thing to do because I have to use the kitchen. And that really, causes an inconvenience for others. Who wins in a fight between Thomas Frank, Dean Smith, and a rabid mountain goat, says Max. I think Dean Smith's probably going to win that, Max. I tell you what, we're all gonna have some funny dreams tonight. I think Rob has probably dictated a lot of our dreams. I tell you what, I don't know whether people do this. I know some people do wear like fitness watches and stuff like that. I was wearing one last year, and it was a sleep tracker. I was intrigued by it, so I got quite into that for a couple of weeks, and I had this sleep tracker on, right? And it said you had over 4 awake moments during the night. And I thought, well, one of them will be about 3 o'clock in the morning for a... No. 6 o'clock in the morning, I normally wake up at. 10 minutes after I've gone to sleep, I normally wake up with a fast heart rate for some reason. But I had one where the sleep tracker said I'd been awake at 3 o'clock in the morning for 10 minutes. Didn't remember it. And my heart rate was racing. And I read into it, and it was like, it happens. Oh, here we go. Oh, no, he's messed it up. Inter Milan, big chance. And I read into it, and I was like, they said, oh, this happens quite a lot. You won't remember a lot of the times you wake up. And I was like, What was happening to make me wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning for 5 minutes with the biggest heart rate of the night? And I thought, I guarantee it's something to do with polar bears or sharks. I guarantee it. And I was just glad I couldn't remember. And then they said, well, it might not be a bad thing. It might have been something good. And then I was like, well, I do want to remember then. Imagine what was going on with that sort of heart rate. Who would you choose for Chelsea's first 11 next season? Daniel, it's not my problem. You need a striker, though. Duma says, why is it a crime against humanity to say Man U? I've heard that for so many years from players and pundits, says Duma. It was an offensive term from the early 60s, if I remember. It's just, I don't fully remember what the details are. I'm sure somebody in the chat will. I think it was a derogatory term used by rivals against Manchester United. And United fans just don't use it. A lot of people won't realise why, but it's deemed to be a derogatory term. Who's the best Roger? Says Rob. Roger Federer, Roger Moore, or Roger who? I don't know who that one is. Rob Smooth. Are you live tomorrow? I'm on the United Stand tomorrow, yeah, and I've got Driving with Goldbridge going up at 2 o'clock tomorrow as well, hopefully. So watch out for that one because I actually think it's better than last week. Doesn't mean it will be, but I think it is. Would you do Cooking with Goldbridge with Gordon Ramsay, says Tour? I'd love to. I'd love to do something like that. Branch out. Nick P's got a tip. Oh, there's a free kick here. Hernandez, rubbish for AC Milan. Nick P's got a tip that might help you if you're suffering from snoring. Play the didgeridoo. It encourages breathing in from the nose and out of the mouth. So you've got to buy yourself a didgeridoo, and they're massive. And they're massive. It was probably a dream of Harry Maguire getting a contract extension that woke you up, says Robbo. Jason says, I enjoyed your Football Manager Solihull Moors career. You should do a long-term save. You know what? If you didn't see my Football Manager save, it's one of my biggest regrets, really. I just managed the charity Sidemen game, and even though we lost, I think everybody knew I was a great coach. I bought Football Manager, and I got promoted, not through the playoffs, I got promoted with Solihull Moors this season. Well, look at Wrexham, look at Notts County, and I got promoted. Look, the record speaks for itself. If I'd have carried on, by season 5, I think we would have won the treble. What's your opinion on Weghorst, says Oliver Sharp? Nice guy, not a great footballer. Here we go, Rob's back here, part 2. It's like Empire Strikes Back. Rob says, a moose in heat is by far the most dangerous animal in the forest. They will track you for tens of kilometres away and have their way with you or your car. I lost a Honda that way. Oh, no. I'm waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning now, and I hope I'm not remembering it. What is this? What is this evil? Why would a moose... So basically, they're not angry. They want to do you. That's worrying. At least a polar bear just wants to maul you. Nigel wants to do one about Gary Glitter. No. We've done that as well. Honey badgers are apparently not very good either. This is taking a sinister turn. I think there's a few people in the chat actually getting quite excited. Boring semi-final, says Vashnuk. It has turned into that. The car got pregnant afterward. Rest in peace, the Honda. Robbo, thank you very much for your super chat. Everyone's Googling horny mooses now. I've seen a few. Student night, Ritzy's, Nottingham in the 90s. Honey badgers go for your nuts, Mark, says Rudolph the Red. What is a honey badger? I'm going to have to Google it. Oh, yeah, I knew what they were. They don't look very fast. And they're quite small. I tell you what, if they went for my nuts, I'd be pretty confident I could hit it on the volley. Back of the net. It's been a game of two halves, this, says Stu. Apparently, it was used as an insult to the Busby boys. The insult was man, you are man, you're, says Michael Creaney. Yeah, I knew it was something to do with around there. Around the city, yeah. What are them dragon things? They look quite nasty and well built. They look like they've been down the gym on the steroids. They've got one in a pit in a Daniel Craig James Bond film. Komodo dragon, that's it. They look... I wouldn't fancy any of them. I would not fancy that. They're quite quick as well. Yeah, they don't look... They've got a relatively weak bite strength, but they rely on their sharp, curved teeth and long, sturdy claws to slash and tear at their prey with astonishing force. I think they're quite infectious as well. Apparently, here's a story for you. Komodo dragon attacks Sharon Stone's husband. We were doing local news stories, weren't we? There's plenty of jokes on this. I just want to make sure if he died first. No, he was fine. He said he was in good spirits afterwards. We're very grateful for the professional care of the people at the hospital, said Sharon Stone, and we certainly don't blame the people at the zoo. There you go. You learned something new. Sharon Stone's husband got bit by one. Who wins in a fight, a brown bear or a silverback gorilla, says Dave. It's the claws. It's the claws. That's the trouble with a bear. Like Freddy Krueger. Put in order what gives you the best feeling. Sleep, eating, stretching. Man United win. Champions League. Last minute winner performing live in front of a crowd. There's a lot of clues there, but stretching is good. When was the last good referee performance you watched, says Ali. We watched one not that long. We watched one together not that long ago where the referee was quite good. I can't remember what it was. There was a game we did a watch-along quite recently where there was a good ref. Would you take Dumfries over Wan-Bissaka based on what you've seen? Think he'll be a good Liverpool signing, says Robel. I think Dumfries is a player that Eric Ten Hag likes. And I think he would suit the Prem. Oh, shot straight at the keeper there. From, I nearly said Pogba, it's Pobega. Umzil's talking about cars. I'm not a massive car man. He can track me home if he wants, but I'm the only one laying pipe round here, says Dylan. Okay. Just watch The Matrix. Now my life is a mess, says Nelly. Oh, I probably haven't watched The Matrix for 20 years. I think I've only ever watched it once. One of the most disappointing sequels and trilogies ever, The Matrix. The first film was unbelievable. What did they do? I don't even remember what they did. And they did a sequel to that. The silverback gorilla could get on top of the bear and try and prise its jaws open like King Kong with the T-Rex, says Robbo. Talk about Origi, Mark. Well, he's a Liverpool legend, isn't he? Is he? Fred likes the Matrix trilogy. I might have to revisit. Best trilogies: Godfather, Star Wars, Dark Knight. Anyone got any better ones? We're only 10 subscribers away from 953,000, by the way, so please subscribe. Click that button in the bottom right-hand corner. I hope you've enjoyed the watch along tonight. Oh, Lord of the Rings trilogy, yes, very, very good. Ajar says, talk about semis and animals. Mate, you're going to get locked up for that. RSPCA have already been alerted from the knocking out the shark joke. You're definitely going to get a call tonight. If you're getting semis and talking about animals, you've got a problem. Men in Black trilogy. I don't really like Will Smith. And not because he slapped Chris Rock, which I thought was very, very rude. I used to like The Prince of Bel-Air. And I like... Not Minority Report. What was the one that was a bit... Enemy of the State was quite clever for its time. Gene Hackman. Big throw-in by AC Milan. Gene Hackman alive or dead? It's a serious question. He must be. I haven't heard anything about him for a while. If you're watching, Gene, hope you're doing well. Not sure you would be watching That's Football Watch Along from Milan against Inter Milan, but I Am Legend was okay. iRobot never really liked it. He's alive. I can confirm that Gene Hackman is alive. Thank you for that, Master. Independence Day, didn't like it. I've tried to watch it a few times. I just don't like it. I prefer that one with Tom Cruise in War of the Worlds. I've got to cut this off. I could just chat to you like all night. I mean, we've not really spoken about football at all in that second half, but it's finished 2-0 to Inter Milan. Tomori's having a chat with the ref. But it sets it up interestingly for the second leg, but you start to feel it might be job done. I've enjoyed this more than the game, says Ali the Delusion. If you like this sort of thing, check out the Mark Goldbridge channel, Driving with Goldbridge from last week. There's a new episode coming up tomorrow, hopefully. Thanks everyone for watching. We've got watch-alongs for you this weekend in the Premier League, of course, and we'll have daily content for you. We'll have something up tomorrow as well. But yeah, this is why I do these watch-alongs, because sometimes you catch a game that's a little bit dull. And it was a bit dull. But I suppose the second half can only do better. It's been a cracking stream, though. I've loved the topics in the second half. And very glad to spend this evening with you. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in. It was great. Gene Hackman is 93 years old, says Mandy. And he's still going strong. Good film, Enemy of the State. Also, Gene Hackman was in another film I quite like, The Firm. It's not a porn. It's not a porno. It's got Tom Cruise in it. Gene Hackman in it. And it's called The Firm. It's based on a John Grisham. It's not a porno. It's based on a John Grisham book. Very good film. He's retired at 93. Who can blame him? Who can blame? The Bourne trilogy is very good as well. Well done. Thank you very much. Take care, everyone. What a show. You are the legends of the chat. I'll speak to you later.